two. Fight! Cammy wins. Round one. Fight! Round two. Fight! Cammy wins.
Player one has a 5-win streak.
Round one. Fight! Round two. Fight! wins. Round one. Fight! Round two. Fight! Cammy wins.
This is the 16th win for player one.
様何者じゃ。
So, as we can see, the stream is live, or the stream is not live, sorry, the recording is live. The stream is dead, long live the stream. We have Skopanda on the right, that is Robbie from somewhere in Scotland, and Air from Glasgow. Yeah, they both know the matchup really well, but as Skopanda just pointed out, he plays multiple characters, whereas Air is a character specialist. So I think that really goes in Robbie's favour. I think if Skopanda, opts to go for a different type of character, will result in Andrew maybe struggling with this. Yeah, he started with Tekken 7 as well.
Yeah,
so.
started with Tekken 7, so there's not much on the line, but there is for Robbie. He has high expectations. People look at him to be one of the top Scottish players, if not the top dog.
Oh,
So
it's one of the things as well. Robbie lives so far away. Skopanda lives so far away that it's very difficult to do it.
yeah, I think the guys are just getting ready. Yeah,
Yeah, you can start.
yeah, sure.
They were waiting patiently, such well-mannered young men.
Saints.
Saints.
What
That's it. It's the first Yomi who's willing to take control of the menu. That's what that is. Like, no, you do it. No, you do
they
it.
are. You do it, no?
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7.
Button check. And if you might notice, the Air plays he plays like old school KOF. That's the layout he opts for. It is not a standard or traditional Tekken layout. He he likes to play with his unique approach. And we've got a second Bears player, so Skull Panda going for his infamous Bears. So,
I told you he was going for another character. I think this could be a villain.
Oh.
Am I right? This is what.
Oh, Air also plays Alyssa. So Skull Panda's. Skull Panda plays another Alyssa. That's interesting.
Alisa Boskanovic.
So that's Andrew locking in. Air locking in is the blue Leo.
And this is top 12 as well.
This is top. No, this isn't. This is pools. Winners, finals, and pools. They've not made it to top 12 yet.
Not everyone's ninth just now who's in the tournament.
No, because you could still
Oh, you're right. You're top 12 now.
top 6. Oh, there's 4 pools. There's top 16.
I just checked the brackets.
Really?
Everyone's ninth place. Yeah.
Everyone's 9th place. That's very odd.
Yes, but these builds are just
Okay. Yeah, because you're fighting for copy. I understand. I'm really bad at maths today. I need to go to my bed. So we've got, I believe, the names switched around. So Air indicated he would be playing for blue. Leo. Sweet Bang. Entry into the taunt. Yeah, of course it's a of course it's an error. Man's isn't taunt. Oh, gave him head, no tech. Some okay, but at the wall Leo's really impressive and he doesn't get the launch there on the big sweep.
Round 2.
One round, he's Skull Panda is up. Nice jab flow out, but the box stance doesn't get it. Will Rising 4, 1 plus 2 is negative 10 and it's interruptible after the 4 as well. So Sweep Bang launched, and that's going to be spear. It should be a wall splat, yeah, but it doesn't act, and it's hard to react to something like that. Because of such a low slump, he would have maybe got one poke and that was it, if he was lucky. Will Rising forward, he's gonna, and the Skull Panda pumping on the brakes, yeah, with the back dash, and then blocks the dab with a Will Rising 4 punish, but no sidestep on back 1-4. If you are used to the Leo matchup, you should sidestep, yeah, of course it will kill. What you should do though against back 1-4, if a player knows you can't get away with it, after the back one you need to sidestep or sidewalk left.
I figured out some new tech with Elisa. If you go for if you go for down back 1 with Elisa, stance, yeah, 1 from her stance, and do back 1-4 then it's passing watch.
In back 1, oh no, back 1-4 from Leo.
If you block the 1 for back 1-4,
Mm-hmm.
you can go for down back 1 with Elisa.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 yeah.
And that'll crush. That's really good. That's a fantastic
Squeeze
option.
back a little bit.
And that's the problem with that though is it's very character specific. It won't only ever work for Alyssa players, but everyone does have the option to sidewalk left straight out of back 1-4. It's interesting to see Skull Panda not do that because he is a Leo main. He doesn't, not even as Alyssa, he should know the sidestep back 1. And the Will running 2 doesn't. Nice punish on the Will Rising 4 1 plus 2. It's another round in Skull Panda's favour.
Round 2. Fight.
And both. You can never count him out. No, he's good at adapting. He's fought against odds, and when he came to start playing Tekken, he travelled all around the UK. He was in Manchester, he was at PSF, yeah, and he was also at any Tekken 7 UK tour he could make it to. So it's good to see him making some ground and still coming back. I believe he's kind of stepped away from the game a bit, but he's also known as a KOF player and used to play a little bit of Street Fighter 5 with his Laura. So he's a well-versed and well-rounded fighting game player. No Marvel though, because Marvel. The big trip and gets the wall splat. Any okay, just backdashes to get away from the get up kicks, but no whiff punish at all from Skull Panda. Both players feeling each other out and no 1 plus 2 tech, and closing out those games with a perfect. Skull Panda taking the full and puts Air into losers. We will have another winners bracket up on the stream now. Which is taking a few minutes. 2 minutes or a few two. Yeah. We'll definitely see it, yeah. And yeah, I was watching, that was really, really impressive. That or a Sting as well. Yeah, Skull Panda is one of the. He's friendly, very. aware of his own flaws as well, and I think that maybe defeats him a little bit from pushing on, because we've seen it at Hype Spotting as well. He done amazingly well, but never really doubled down, and it was his first ever travel tournament, yeah, top 16. So it's something that you could definitely double down on, because we've known about Skopanda for years. It's just getting him to travel. He lives a very long way away, and it's difficult for him to make these events. So we really appreciate him coming out this weekend and showing up with his Alyssa, as opposed to his what we'd expect either a bear or Leo. But just now we are just sourcing our winners final match for the pool. So that was one. You got it to hand? Yeah. Needs more coffee, yeah. Carberry. DJ2 obviously, Smith. Yeah. Tekken Enthusiast, yeah. CKT Tekken Enthusiast. Yeah. And CKT needs more coffee. And we've also got W3D DJ Vu coming up, and Carberry, who also used to regularly attend the Wednesdays are 3D monthlies and weeklies a very long time ago. Dragunov, yeah, he used to play Jinpachi, he's played Wang, he played Armor King, and he played Feng. Those are all characters he's toyed with and tried, although if they are going to play with that just now, we'll have to wait and see. And that's one thing is where the meta starts. Do you offer someone their side, or do you fight them for it even if you don't care? You always want to put someone off, yeah, you want to, it's shown a weakness, so you should always establish that you want to fight for a side. And it sets up a meta game before you've even done it, but it doesn't look like they've done it on stream. As you can see, DJ Vu towering way above the mic there, yeah, and Carberry on the left. Both players will just be setting up just now. Yeah, we've seen the Shaheen earlier, and that was interesting to see how he took it on. He was saying he was having trouble with one or two of his combos with Shaheen against Feng and some other members of the cast, so I doubt we'll actually see Shaheen against a player as strong as Carberry. He'll want to bring out the big guns. We'll see Jack. I believe we'll see Jack or Paul. And Paul is a character people have valued a lot in first 2 seconds because of the mix-ups and the sheer damage that it forces you to hold. Yes. It just takes the right read on the player if you can get that. But Wednesdays are 3D DJ Vu on the left, already locked in as Jack, and we'll have Carberry as Dragunov on the right. So how do you feel you used to play Jack? How do you feel about Jack and Dragunov? Yeah. He can't step it at all.
Well, he can't step, it's like a double step.
It's a double step, yeah.
It's more of a side walk rather than a side step. And Jack's such a linear character.
And that's with the side walking and side stepping kind of nerfed as well in this game. It makes it a lot harder.
Jack 7.
Jack can, yeah, if you've got the fundamentals. But it just means Jason, DJ Vu, they have to be a little bit more pitbull, because you don't want to give Dragunov the space to start getting his well-running 2s in. And speaking to Carberry earlier on, he is mainly a PC player, and he finds it very, very difficult to get instant well-running 2s on a console. He feels like the lag does hinder him a bit, but he is willing to try. And he's done well. He was previously at Aberdeen tournament or a Dundee tournament, and he done quite well, and he came up against DJ Vu. So this is a matchup that they've both done recently. And Tombstone, yeah, 1+2 Tombstone right at the beginning. Something you have to watch out for, yeah. And it's just jabbing, using the jab pressure, and it gets a big counter hit. Yeah, that might be an option. The problem is you just don't want to give him room, because if you start backdashing and pumping off the brakes too much, Dragunov will take full advantage of that. But saying that, DJ Vu just runs in and gets a really big grab. Yeah, doesn't get the full combo, but this is going to be a mini combo. Yep, up forward 3. And look at that big down forward 2 there. No. He should have really went for a 10 frame as a minimum there. But DJ Boo just, tournament nerves, these players have had time to cool down as well because of the delay between pool wins in this. It seems both players are still needing to warm up a little bit, and no text from either of these players yet. And this puts you in a really bad OK there. Doesn't get hit by the can opener, but fantastic whiff punish by Kerbery. And he's going to take him straight to the wall. The full damage comes with just an awkward swat there, and DJ Boo gets a massive launch, and unfortunately he's shaking his head in the background. And we'll just go to main game cam because I forgot to switch the cameras just now. And you could see there that Kirby was audibly not happy about that. That should have been his round. But we shouldn't let that kind of get in his head. And this is where DJ Boo starts to get impressive, imposing on people. He's very rush down heavy now. And we can see that, but again another drop in the combo. It is the input, yeah, I believe it's maybe a bit of both nerves and input really. DJ Boo was the person who challenged Kirby at the tournament in Dundee recently, from what I'm aware, and he's done very well. Dundee also have players like Bobo and nice punish. Bobo, Tiny Tiger and a few others. They're really strong players, Minas, but they do not have a Jack to practice against. So they have Mishimas and what a reaction with that Rage Arc. Just catches Dragunov with that elbow. You won't be bragging about nothing after that. Nice jab and down forward one just closes out the round.
Round 4.
It's good to see players feeling each other out, yes. And that's, Kirby might be able to come back. So those were two rough rounds from him. He brought it back there and he's just going in and feeling another player out. It does look like DJ Boo. He's looking a lot more active in movement too. Doesn't get the kick at all, but gets a big backhand slap. And this is really scary for Kirby right now because he's at the wall, and this is where Jack really exceeds in damage, and that takes it. Kirby nods in agreement that just that out. So DJ Boo, one game up, and it is a first to two. We are only in pools finals just now. Well, losers for pools have been played off stream after every game, just so they can catch up and see who's getting out and where they place in the bracket.
Whoever wins this game will secure themselves in top 8 and win.
Yes,
And
they
that's very
will.
important.
That's extremely important, especially for Big. This is, although this is a smaller version of Big this time, it is the one to watch, and it's a shame that Eru Zhao, who was one of the previous contenders for winner of Big, hasn't been able to make it this time, but hopefully we'll see him again in the future. But just now we have, as we said, got the travelling Kirby all the way up north coming against one of our hometown heroes, DJ Boo.
A lot of players from England.
And we also had Johnny Napalm all the way up from Newcastle, and we were meant to have Ben Rogan himself, Metal Clear Solid, but unfortunately due to a few issues with travel, he got confused. He stayed free. He stayed the most free. I'm sure we'll see him in the future, yes. And that's a few times now Kirby has dropped areas of shooting off, but he just clutches out there. Get up pick. Not a very common plan. Up forward 3 again. And that means that if Kirby didn't say it, he wasn't punished straight away and he done it right again. And that's one of the things, if you're a player, it's something to notice. Was it the appropriate punish? And Tombstone. Yeah. And look at the OK gets right on the shoulder. Woke up wrong and the down back 1. Again, that's not a punish.
Round 3.
No.
Fight.
Oh, right. That's a magnificent twitched up from Kirby there on the Power Crush. He's going to get a big float combo straight to the wall. Dragging off what we're going to see. No instant while running 2 just to create some pressure and plus range of the wall. But the big back 1 plus 2 ending it down to dabbing on his feet. Jabs just established dominance. Fantastic duck from DJ Boo and gets another tombstone, no tech. And Kirby looking mildly frustrated. No OK this time, and a nice twitched up again on the grab. And maybe that's one of Kirby's issues just now. He's too used to twitched up in certain aspects on PC that's just not working just now.
Round 4. Fight.
Well, there are certain characters that have big lows, but if it's a 20 frame low, you should really do your best to block that and react to that and establish that you will lose some small twitch damage. But yeah. So we'll hopefully see that soon. But a failed slide in. This could be anyone's game, especially with a big jab float like that. Going to take him to the wall, uses the rage drive, establishes back 1+2, and goes to dash and just get caught by that new toe kick. That wasn't always there. It was not a Tekken Tag 2 option. So that's something that Kirby may have forgot about, as he was a lot more dominant in that era. But he's been doing well now, and he's going to run in, down back 2. No. This is set point for DJ Vu, and he's going in like a pit bull. He knows what's at risk here. Gets the OK set up because no tech from Dragunov, no side roll at all. But Dragunov just poking DJ Vu down. Nice twitch duck again. Both players showing that they know a lot about this matchup, and that's a perfect punish, and it could be a big chunk of damage. And this is where you have to watch out, but Kirby takes it. So Kirby coming back with a lot of signs of life and fantastic punishes, as I've said a few times. And he knows the matchup, and he just needs to establish that this isn't really, it isn't PC. This is PS4. It's a different kind of setting and different kind of meta to it. It's harder for players to react, and Kirby needs to establish that. Maybe try it with more down twos, encourage Jason to duck a bit. Yeah. Yeah, he'll be feeling himself for sure. Yeah, we all would be. We'll all be Nicki Minaj feeling myself. And we're going to Sook, infamous Scottish stage for Sook Me.
This is also very surprising because DJ Vu has won 2 tournaments in a row, and now he is at match point.
Yeah.
Not match point, this is the last match of the set.
This is him getting out in top 8 and winners. And DJ Vu is definitely, as you said, the one to beat. And if Kirby can kind of shake that foundation, it might be the kind of thing that DJ Vu will reconsider maybe his approach or who to choose. But he is going to try to do it with Jax, and he made it to the Tekken 7 UK Championships with Jack as well. And he also won the NBA versus Wednesday's R3D or versus Scotland Invitational Tournament, and bet Esmond Fong, I believe, in a first to 5-1. The first round, just whiffs on the big elbows, and a really quick whiff punch from Kirby, pushing him slightly closer to the wall. Both these characters, no, plant no seeds, son. No. Joining Greenpeace there and getting nothing for it. A really big snake edge just taking out DJ Vu. That would have been. But that's the kind of options you have to get inside your opponent's head and take. Like, will he block this? And he didn't. It went Kirby. High risk, high reward. Dragunov can play that kind of game. He can also enforce a lot of frame advantage and a lot of great whiff punches and backswing into the blow. And well, sometimes it is crushing. DJ Vu is going for the jabs quite a lot. So yeah, the big crumple this is going to be wall carry. And dead. Oh no, too low. Doesn't get the well rising shoulder punish. And a big rage art. Down back 1. And the thing is, if that had absorbed that hit, DJ Vu was gone there. That was that light amount of life. So it was a good read from Kirby. It just didn't pay off. He didn't have enough health. He had no cash in the bank for that read. You can take bets all you want, son, but once you've lost the house, that's you. And we've seen a lot from DJ Vu blocking up forward threes, and no punishes on them though, and they just keep on going with the elbow on the head. Watch your noggin, and that's something that DJ Vu likes to do at the wall. He'll constantly jump in the elbow, then he'll start with the down back 1's counter hit, down 2 from Dragunov, and that's twice DJ Vu has not blocked the down back 4, yeah. And almost had a combo video there, back 1+2 to challenge the spring. Nice duck again, and that's every time. Kirby keeps on using the full string, and it's not working out in his favour. Well rising 4, a full couch down 4 to take it out. Yeah. Both players showing a lot of adjustments as well on the fly, and noticing what they're doing really well. And I believe up next we will have needs more coffee after this, but best not to get ahead of ourselves. Just seen him waiting. Yeah. You're losers, yeah. Yeah, so clutches it out for down back 1. Unfortunately for Kirby, he played really, really well there, and both players discussing the match already. So very analytical as well, wanting to improve, and that's what you like to see in the Scotland community. How can I improve? Where did I go wrong? And yeah. And especially, it's cool to kind of show this. We don't get to showcase it enough to other players, so having Needs More Coffee and Tekken Enthusiast and Johnny Napalm all travel, it's great to see them.
Well, it looks like we're either
We're going to see someone, but Fumaken will have to play his losers pool in off stream, so we will see who we've got up next. So I will be holding down the fort solo by the looks of things.
See you guys in a bit.
What's the name? And up on stream we've got Needs More Coffee himself against Wednesday's R3D Smith. No, Ace GP. Ace GP made it to winners finals of his pool. We have got to congratulate the Feng Scrub himself, Ace GP, who is pulling funny faces. He's waving to the camera. There is no camera. Don't know who he's waving at. Definitely not me. And that's HGP and CKT Needs More Coffee coming up. So we will be seeing Feng and Bears potentially, or one of the many characters Needs More Coffee can play. But we will be trying to get another commentator somewhere if we can too. But it Needs More Coffee will and HGPX. Just a bit of background chat just now, guys. We are currently trying to set up players, but it will be 2 moments. But this can all be edited out, can't it? Because we're off stream. Yes.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist Tournament 7. Ben Wei. Lars Alexanderson.
Mics are back on now. So we have got CKT, Needs More Coffee, and HJP. So Needs More Coffee, it plays Lars, Miguel, and Bears. It probably plays a lot more characters than that, but
So
as
I
you
know,
just...
I know before the match, GP, our local,
Yes,
been
our local was
practicing the
practicing
bear
bear
just to
matchup.
be disappointed by this Lars.
The best bit is he's practicing it out in the open. You're like, yo, well, he's prepared for that matchup now? Okay, so we're not going to do that matchup. And
Already showed his singularity.
he just fish hooking.
Oh, great hit back down.
He gets a back one into the guaranteed shoulder, and brilliant punish from that as well. Well rising four. So even though he's not sure, but he knows something, and that's going to be a jab into another 4-3-4. And it's actually looking really good for HJP. And I know it sounds so rude to be surprised, but he is doing very good against the infamous Traveller. Needs More Coffee, but just clutches it out. And Needs More Coffee is definitely not from Scotland. He's from England. But we will change that camera. Flag.
Very nice with that.
We've got an English flag, hometown hero.
Very good.
And it's a good. The both players are poking each other out, but JP's making a good use of the fish hook and back 4 and just challenging them with mids. But he is using back 1 as well, so he's encouraging them to duck the back 1 and get a well rise and punish. But the hook, it's super patient. He probably should have at least hit A button. Like 2-4, yeah, down 2, doesn't get it. Back 4 again. Back 4 the button for JP. It's almost like he's just mashing it. It's his quickest mid. It's still 12. It's good to keep someone off you, but nice block on the down 2. But I don't believe it is punishable by much. So needs more coffee. Just playing in and out there. JP using forward 3 just to close some gap and challenging again, challenging the space with back 4, but into a big sidestep dragon tail, and needs more coffee gets hit. And goes for the big. That's an okay, yeah, it's okay, but it doesn't work at the wall. I don't know why JP was going for it. And he whiffs the forward 3+4. No launch punish on the Art Blast. No launch punish on the shoulder. These players are feeling the strain right now, and that's going to be an orbital heal just to close it out. But both players there giving up in really key moments. That could have been either or's round if they got the launch punish on the Art Blast or the shoulder. Needs more coffee, sliding straight into HJP and just closing the gap, and JP getting a little bit panicked now, and you can see it, he's using a lot of reliance on back 1, and needs more coffee, clearly knows how to deal with back 1, and he's trying to bait it out now, and it's showing that the pressure's on HJP, and he was doing so well in that first game, but no snake dash headbutt, those shins are well guarded, and that's 1 up for CKT. Needs more coffee.
It's looking good early for JP, but that last round was...
It's rough, yeah. He had his back against the wall. That's what Needs More Coffee can do, but I'd like to see JP just push in a bit more aggressive, more down 4s, some whiff punishes, and maybe even if hitting a button after an Arc Blast if he does it again, because it was clearly negative, and JP should be at least trying to challenge it, but and he's also very reliant on Snake Dash in 1 to close distance now, and it's never hit, but he gets the full 4 float, and this is going to be straight to the wall. Just there, no combo video though, well rising 4, and this means CKT Needs More Coffee is at the wall, and a brilliant duck in the 1+2 grab, and HJP could use down 2 to close it out. I was expecting a big Iron Mountain, the full blue shoulder, but no, HJP opts just for down 2, sorry, to take it out, but he is now making it very clear that he's also going to try get really close and go for the Dragon Tail, and sidestep 4 or the down back 4. No, not a worth it for a risk, not in this stage where Lars can get brilliant wall carry. But JP does know, and he's getting a lot of mileage off these Dragon Tails, or whatever you want to call them, the down back 4 or sidestep 4, both of them, and he keeps on going for it, and it's been very obvious because he panicked the button in it, and it was something that paid off a lot, but the risk reward isn't worth it. When you're at negative frames and you're hitting it and you're too close, you should be using it more for mix-ups and more in neutral. Oh, that's typical Feng Snake Dash things, like he's just going to crush everything, you're going to jump over him, and you've got 2 back turns. But JP making a lot more use of Feng's tools just now, yeah. And no whiff punishes here, so Needs More Coffee's hitting a lot more buttons in the neutral, and JP's not really sure what to do against that big dab, the big Power Crush dab, and both players are feeling each other out. Another really risky elbow is paying off for JP. The shoulder bar's right in and a brilliant sidestep, but he's not really capitalising on those whiffs a lot, and I'm worried that this is going to cost him, and because that was straight on, he wasn't slightly off axis, which this is nice, fantastic parry on that unblockable. JP's looking around, he knows he done something sick there. Does he know it was sick? That's the question. And a Snake Dash in headbutt to start. Yeah, this is going to be fantastic damage. Because of that, down back to 2-4, but both players get screws, yeah. Watch your toes. JP just poking with the down forward 1, and this is going to be a full combo convert for Needs More Coffee, not 1 to drop his combos, and a 1+2 throw headbutt to close it out. That is familiar for anyone that knows the Mishimas, the big headbutts. A lot of them have those headbutt grabs, especially Heihachi. I believe Jinpachi had it before as well, but JP gets a sidestep 4. Yeah, it's such a slow move as well. We'd expect Needs More Coffee to deal with it a bit better. He's too lookout for the mid, but it is costing him most rounds, and you should be reacting to it if you can. But Needs More Coffee is an Xbox One player, so he is used to less lag. Oh, has JP hit a button? No, and this is going to be a big launch, and that's going to be HJP taking the first game. And you've seen the pressure there from Needs More Coffee, just panicked Rage Art, and right there at the end, and slow golf clap there from Air towards his fellow countryman.
Went straight to character
He's
select.
went straight to character select, yeah, and we will see a bear. But this is what you were talking about.
This
JP
is
was
what JP
practicing
was
for the boards. This is
practicing
what JP wants.
He knows this.
But again, maybe Miguel. We could see a Miguel from it.
Oh, JP
Needs
did.
More Coffee.
To the king of Fenway.
Yes, he did.
Oh, what
A Paul as well. How could I forget Needs More Coffee plays Paul?
I don't think JP has
Fenway.
any Paul experience at all.
Of course it does, but DJ Vu.
Has ever played Paul against
Yes.
him? Oh, has he?
But
Okay,
yes, so you've played against
Should
DJ
have.
Vu, and they both play Paul differently though. This is it. So, but JP should know shoulder is launch punchable. He should know Death Fist is chargeable at any distance. He can get the shoulder barge all the time against both Demo Man and Death Fist. Problem is,
I
will
don't
he
think
do it?
Finn can punish Death Fist properly.
He can, yeah. He can get forward 3-4.
Oh,
In some situations, he can get full launches. Depends on the depth of how the Phoenix Smasher is placed. But if JP continues to play more aggressively against Needs More Coffee, we can see a lot more damage and not allow him the space. But no ducks there on the oosh. That's unfortunate. JP gets hit by the crumble, caught hitting buttons after forward 4 right at the wall, and that's not natural. He can tech roll that, but shown unfamiliarity with the matchup, as you said, which could be a worry. With his back against the wall, HJP will struggle as well. And you can even see the pressure in them accidentally jumping. He'll start using the snake dashes to get in. The good close in on that. But that's Luba's spear, and a big punish for it to come to close the rounds out.
Round 2.
And it's unfortunate, both players. But I believe JP should be actually sidestepping that, and a big risk from the transition into the launch and punch. And again, just going in for Snake Dash 1, and at some point he's going to have to mix it up. But it stops being a mix-up if you don't use all the options. And down 2 in close, nice sidestep from Needs More Coffee into a big shredder kick. So he's going to take HGP right to the wall, not max damage at the wall though, but obviously because of the side splat, Needs More Coffee opted for something different.
Round 3.
And Phoenix Smasher just closed out that round. HGP hitting the counter hit damage in chunks and using the counter hit down forward 4 and just using it to close space. What I'd like to see JP use and utilise more is tempo, because he's not going to get that down back 4. He needs more coffee, scouting it out now, and he knows that's what JP wants to go for. And crouch dashes straight under it. Yeah. Great blocks, but there we go, Kempo. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Kempo used a lot more from HJP, and even just better ways, but he's not going to, and that's it, he wants it. No, that cost him it, and HJP done very well, but unfortunately, just took too big a risk there at the end, and it cost him. But that means he needs more coffee, guaranteed top 8 now.
JP's still in it,
He's still in, he'll be going to play losers in this pool off stream. But up next on stream we will have CKT Tekken Enthusiast and a former CKT member, Smid. Not many people will know if they've only kept up to Tekken with the
Oh, we've got rock,
the
paper,
scene.
scissors.
Yeah, we've got rock, paper, scissors. Oh, Smid lost! That's it, stay free. That's it, it's over, that's it,
That's
split.
it, it's done.
It's gone back to his life of taxi driving, that's it. Smid's just left the building, it's gone. And needs more coffee stepping off just now. HJP coming over to be congratulated on his 1 round win.
I'm going to
There's
shoot
none.
at him now.
He's going to shout at him. So, JP getting reprimanded for too many sidestep 4s. Okay, so straight off into another match after a hard loss as well. So we've got Smid, W3D Smid, and CKT Tekken Enthusiast.
I think Smith played 2 sides.
We'll find out when. No, who are you playing, Smid? What character?
He can't tell yet, he hasn't
Oh,
played
don't
two.
announce it. Just give me a wink.
Yeah, get, like,
What side are you? Left or right?
Same
Will you
one.
player 1 or 2? Okay, we know who you're going for. Smid's going for his Claudio. The infamous Smid Claudio. And Tekken Enthusiast, I believe, will be playing Jin. And I forgot how to spell Enthusiast, so apologies if this is wrong. And he will be representing
I
England.
think he's Twitter's active.
We are not showing no Twitters. So Tekken Enthusiast on the right and Wednesday's R3D Smid on the left.
Lucky Chloe.
We don't use free camera. We don't want to show our pasty faces.
I shaved just for today.
You shaved just for today. Ash Shaven got slagged for the whole Tekken World Tour.
Jin Kazama.
So main game. Oh, we've already picked characters. We've missed the characters, and these CKT names are too long. He needs to be Tekken Lover. He should just be Tekken Lover, not an Enthusiast. Lover would fit. This is Tekken Enthusia. It sounds like Fantasia. Oh, we have to swap sides, so Tekken Enthusiast taken with his Jin to the left, so that's not Smid, and Smid playing his Lucky Chloe on the right. So Smid is a character specialist. He actually started with Yoshimitsu, and then he moved on to almost everyone else having a character crisis until he noticed he was a waifu man. He noticed he was an anime shitter, and that's what he's went for. And we've seen a lot of Lucky Chloe do really well in the Tekken World Tour. John the Ding done quite well. We've even seen Nexus Me First and Namine, Princess Namine in Barcelona doing well with her Lucky Chloes. So she is a character that can, in solid play, she can be quite difficult. She's very limited moveset, but in a stronger moveset, yeah, she can party hard. She can party with the best of them for sure, especially if someone doesn't know it. Yeah. And there's some characters though that have answers to every single option in the Kali roll. So there with the Kali roll, everyone can sidestep it, but some characters are able to challenge it and float her out of any option, which is a very strong tool to have, but I'm not entirely sure if Jin does. But dancing on him and goes for the OK, down 3+4, the just frame doesn't do it. So that the breakdance can be challenged with a down 1 on hit. So if you get hit by that, you can mash down 1 and you'll float out all options. Smid imposing plus frames, you need to, after those two moves, you have to, those two jabs, if he's going to go into the spinning punches, you have to duck it. You have to get out the way of that, or you're kind of screwed, because it puts out a lot of frame advantage. But a big counter hit from Tekken Enthusiast to start off here. It's going to take it to the wall. Tekken Enthusiast has been really landing all his combos and punishes here, and he's got a lot of the stance mix-ups from Jin and challenging everything that Smid's trying to do. It's hard for him to get in. Showing why he was the #1 seed in his pool, taking and closing out the first game with a perfect against Smid. It's very clean, yeah. So will we?
Every time Smith tried anything Tekken Fuse, knew the answer.
He knew the answer, and he was also challenging really tricky whiffs. So you seen the counter hit for step in as well, and he got that. And Smith's just opting to go right back in, see if he can if he's downloading or knows a better way. You know, it's hot off. He was hot off his loss, so he must have thought he had something to think about, and it's working already. And he's going to take him to the wall. Doesn't get him down back 1, and this is hard now because Smid is feet away. But he does get the trip, but again another drop. Just challenging those negative frames, and he's just jabbing them out now, but he's not doing much. Smid's been a lot less active now. I think that must be playing on him. Floated out of the double, so that's Tekken Enthusiast once again showing he knows the full matchup, and that's going to be dead. There's no way that this isn't killing unless Lucky Chloe is. Oh, there's horrible scaling. Sorry, I would have put money on him being dead, but Smid takes it with the small pawn at his toes. I could have swore Jin would have won that, but the splat and maybe the confirm just kind of ruined that for him. He didn't have a lot of health, but counter hit again, step in, and going to go for the... It gives Smid a lot of range there, but it pushes him towards the wall, and the big counter hit launcher, and Smid's going to get a lot of damage. This is where Lucky Chloe can really make use of a lot of damage from counter